Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more Phyrexia All Will Be One action, and today we are playing more All Will Be One, the actual enchantment from the set that basically says whenever you put counters on permanents or a player, All Will Be One can shoot that damage at anything the opponent has, basically. So the goal here is we're playing a Naya brew. This brew was heavily inspired by Koo-Hip's build in Swayze's Discord. But I swapped out Koth and I swapped out some of the lands and put in Blast Zone, got rid of the basics. So hopefully this deck will perform pretty well. Basically this deck is similar to the other All Will Be One decks that we've featured on this channel. We use Storm, the Festival, to hopefully get All Will Be One and some of our other permanents with counters on them onto the battlefield in a speedier fashion. And then besides that, we got 26 lands with Azusa's Many Journeys to help us ramp, card draw, other things with counters, some of the best cards like Fabled Mirror Breaker and Bankbuster, right? We also notably have Blast Zone, which is a actual land that can help us enable All Will Be One, which is huge, because if you have All Will Be One and nothing to enable it, it can feel pretty bad. So let's go ahead and see how we do on the ranked ladder. It's been a while since we played All Will Be One, but I think it will be a lot of fun. I've always enjoyed playing with the card, and yeah, let's go see how we do. There will be a full deck tech at the end of the video, so stick around if you're interested in that, and consider subscribing if you enjoy Magic the Gathering Arena videos. We'll probably be doing a spoiler video at the end of this week to talk about the spoiled cards from March of the Machines, so definitely subscribe and stay tuned for that. But besides that, let's see how we can do here. I think I'll turn down the music though, it was a little loud. This hand looks pretty good. We got at least something to play on too. We don't need to storm the festivals. Bankbuster can help us draw. We should be drawing into majority lands because, well, we're playing 26 lands. Sorry there, getting a drink of water. Opponent Esper. I wonder what this means. The season reset recently, so we're back down into Platinum. I played some mono green on stream to rank back up into Platinum. It actually went pretty fast, much faster than I expected. Our opponent, Faithful Mending, this points to the fact that it might be Reanimator, or they're playing like they're Reanimator. That is about as Reanimator as it gets. Alright, well, we need to hopefully do big things too. Okay, well, it's not exactly what I was thinking when I said do big things, but this is pretty decent hand. We have 2 red, so we can cast All Will Be One. I mean, we can do this on our turn. Do we want to do it on our turn? Opponent is ramping, so maybe they're just casting rather than reanimating, because they don't have enough blacks. Nope, they do have 2 Rafine's Towers, so if they have Cruelty of Gix, they will be able to get it. Ooh, they do just go searching. In that case, we'll go ahead and play out this, so they can't, like, do anything about it.
We must protect the people.
And then next turn, we should be able to start All Will Be Wanting, which is huge. Nice thing with All Will Be One is we can actually just get around them. The Wander is such a good, we're gonna not attack in with the Bankbuster because I'm a little worried, but the Wander is such a good planeswalker because not only does it gain loyalty, but it also puts +1 counters, so that triggers All Will Be One as well. We can use Blast Zone to trigger the All Will Be One. Elspeth comes in with 5 loyalty, it puts a +1 counter as well as a first strike flying lifelink or vigilance counter, so that will do like 3 or 4 damage by itself, which is pretty impressive. The question is, does our opponent run counter spells? World spell, okay. Alright, our opponent gaining 4 life. They're Do we think they're running a counterspell here? That's a good question. Let's find out. No.
I'm not looking for trouble. I'll fight if I
I
have
think what we'll go ahead and do, create one of these just to block here,
to. Keep watch
and
where
then
I'm
put a series of counters on this. Let's go ahead and get rid of each of these orcs.
Show 'em what you got.
Give it lifelink. Sure. That puts a +1 counter and a lifelink counter, so we get 2 more pings. And then, you know what we should have done? We should have put a +1/+1 on the second one. That way we would have been able to crew with Bankbuster. I think we would have gotten slightly more damage there. Fine. You have to Sturm the Festival next turn, which could just be lethal. Repair and Recharge, they get our creatures, which is fine. That's fine. Ooh, okay. Now we need the Storm the Festival to hit pretty good, I think. But, ooh, that is not exactly what I was hoping for. This should still potentially lead to a lethal, because we can still do this, which is pretty good. And then we give it, like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, does it? Even more damage. And then we can crew the Bankbuster and swing in. Oh my goodness. This was a very good opponent to showcase this deck against, because they were super slow to get their reanimation off. But we demonstrated why it doesn't matter if we have creatures or not, because we got planeswalkers and enchantments. But yeah, their opponent reanimated like turn 6, or sorry, turn 6, because I think we went first. And then we managed to hit 2 all-will-be-ones and just Gatling gunned them down. That was a lot of fun. See if we can do it again. Wow. It's always feels so good when like the first match in the video that you're trying to record turns out well. Because then it's like, okay, I haven't let down the viewer yet. Or like I sort of delivered upon the promise that is the title, the experience, I guess. His hand's alright. It's a little bit slower, or like just kind of slow and steady. I mean, Fable is pretty nice, but okay, that is a lot better. That ramps his hand up quite a bit in terms of quality. Opponent. I haven't quite hit full domain here. I wonder if they're playing domain. Yep, they're playing a 5-color domain. They can Leyline Binding our Bankbuster, which they might go ahead and do. No, they go Herd Migration. Okay. I wonder what they're up to. I would have said like, maybe they're playing that's Fable. Fable's just too good to give up, or like not to go on. And then we can potentially discard this Jetmir's Garden, because it's a tap land, and we should find more lands, most likely. That's gonna get rid of that. That is a little upsetting. Alright, 2 Storm the Festivals is probably too many, so let's go like this. Draw into a land. Okay, we did get a land. Not exactly what I was hoping, but alright, keep the ramping going, I guess. Fable. Negate. Does our opponent have negate? Make disappear. Okay. I haven't seen anybody running to make disappear in a while. I feel like it's kind of been taken over with negate, just because negate always lands against like invoke despairing cards like that. Alright, get us a land. There should be one here. There should be one here, I say. Alright, Stauffenberger. I got quite the few lands here, I'm kinda worried. Let's play out all we won, hopefully they don't counter. Another make disappear. Nope, they just cycle a Rafine's Tower hoping to draw something. They don't. Alright. Kiki, get in there. Hopefully they don't have an Emperor on their turn. Atraxa, that is kind of annoying, but it shouldn't be that big of a problem, I don't think. The only thing that would be more of a problem is the fact that they can follow it up with the herd migration. So let's see what they end up picking up. I think they will pick up the herd migration most likely. Yeah. It's a pretty good set of cards. They discard down to size. So if we play Miglaws, we can't copy Miglaws. We can play this, copy it, and blow up the Atraxa. That works. So this is a good way to not waste our board wipe until after they cast their herd migration. Because now we can get in for a bunch of damage. Damn, Bankbuster is such a disgusting card. Just sitting there all by its lonesome there for a while and then is able to give our creature haste effectively. Ley in Line Binding, the all will be one. Alright, fair enough. Herd migration? No, drag to the bottom. Okay. I mean, we can just play out another all will be one. Contagious Fork. Proliferate our Bankbuster? No? Fair enough. Go ahead, play out another all will be one. Hopefully they don't have another removal for it. But that will make our Miglaws deal 5 damage, which is pretty crazy. And then Azusa can do 1. So we'll get a lore counter when it finds a land. Do they still have enough to cast Herd Migration? They only have 6 mana open because they play the Voric. We could go Storm the Festival, but I think that's a little bit too greedy, so we'll just go with... What do we actually want to do? Kind of want to Storm the Festival. Do we think they're holding up a... I mean, how many Make Disappears have we seen? Let's go for it. So they use the Make Disappear here. We still have like a pretty good hand, as well as other stuff to use. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's gonna be a little rough. Yeah, let's go ahead and so we're gonna get, let me think here. We're gonna get this, we're gonna get 1 more damage, and then we can put 1, 2, 3 more damage out there. So we can kill 1 and then have like a blocker. I think this is fine. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have like instant speed removal for our token, so that will kind of screw up our plans, but worst comes to worst, I can try and tick down Elspeth to find something.
I've learned much during my travels.
Okay.
Show them how we meet our enemies.
And then I go ahead, give this counter. Oh, that is forward loyalty, so that is a bit problematic now. Alright, so we went for a greedy play and we got hard punished, I feel like. Let's go ahead and try and finish something off. I think we still get enough to finish this off. First strike, sounds pretty good to me. That'll force them to put a first strike counter on their Vork if they want to get through. And even if they do that, we can crew our Bankbuster. And then we have Elspeth sitting here, ready to keep on ticking up. And then we got Maze Crusher next turn, Azusa's, or they just go for Herd Migration, we depopulate. Opponent looking for an answer. Not a big fan of that. You have to pick out their 2 best cards, so there's probably going to be another Ossification coming at our poor old Shaman token. +1 counter on the work.
Remember your
Yeah, I do want to keep my Elspeth around, so I think we're going to go down the Bankbuster. So, do we really need Elspeth uh, to have full loyalty, is the question. And I think there's some truth to the fact that we don't need it to have full loyalty. like we could block here, but we lose Bankbuster, which has two draws, and we're not looking that healthy on cards, while our opponent still has like gas in the tank. So I think we can go ahead and take this and hope they don't have like a random buff spell or something, or 2 damage to a
Can't make this
planeswalker.
mistake again.
I don't know why they would, but we can just kill our opponent here actually. Uh, Decline, I think. It's 5 damage to our opponent's face. And then we can play Evolve Spinoderm. Yep. All will be one. It's a ferocious enchantment if you don't deal with it. Our opponent had one Leyline Binding to get rid of it, but they could not find another to get rid of our second one. That would have turned out a very different match if our opponent got rid of our second all will be one. But that's why we're playing 4 of them. The deck's built around it, so like the original list that I looked at for this, like I was mentioning, I think it's Koo-Hip or is it Koo-Hip? Um, from Swayze's Discord had a Naya Storm deck, but it had Koth instead of these Evolved Spinoderms, and then it only had 3 all will be ones, so I jacked that up to 4, because I figure we're trying to play around it, and I don't know, I have a strange obsession with trying to play 4 copies of cards. It's probably not necessary in a lot of situations, but this hand's alright. We have Depopulate with Bankbuster. Generally a pretty good start, I would say. Jetmir's Garden can fix our mana base some. To get us the red that we need to cast whatever we draw into. We're fine. So we have like double white, double red. We will need triple green, but we obviously have triple green in our hand. Because we need triple green to cast what's it called? Storm the Festival. Man, I had never played with Storm the Festival when it was like originally a thing in Standard, I feel like. Oh, goodness gracious. Do we play out like the the brushlet, or do we like play out Miglogs here as a type of blocker? I mean, they're gonna Rada's Firebrand it, so it can't block anyways. Let's not. Let's draw a card and take our beats. A double Kamano is brutal though. Like we're about to disappear from the face of the planet practically. Oh my goodness. Well, if they play out their last card here, we might just have a very clean wipe on them. I'm talking like immensely clean. Like, yeah. But, now your entire, like, board is gone. Will you be able to, like, come back from that? Because we got, we got things. Like, we got things. We got Elspeth with Miglaws. This will gain us 3 life next turn, so we'll go ahead and play that out. It also helps us ramp. But yeah, next turn we can give Miglaw's lifelink with Elspeth, and we can use the first ability here, pay 1, and it gains vigilance, so we can attack it and use it to block at the same time. Yeah, is this the win from behind against mono red? That is rough. That is rough. Alright, well, we give it lifelink, obviously, and then vigilance. Bonk. Gain 5. That puts us up to 11. That is going to be hard to beat. Menace. What does this say? The beginning of each player's upkeep, it deals 2 damage unless they control 2 or more basic lands. Well, we're gonna be taking 2 damage. Now, all will be 1. Ooh, that is not ideal. But we'll go ahead and take it. Oh, I wonder if I grabbed out an untapped land, if that would help. Alright, this goes. We get to put like multiple counters on this. Get rid of this. Do it flying. 2 more damage. Goodbye, goodbye. And while we're at it, give it vigilance. And then swing in. 6 more life. It's gonna be rough. Soulful, nice. Fortunately, I think that is gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, 3 damage with all v 1 off of Bankbuster, put another 3 onto, or another 3 off of taking up Elspeth, and bow. We keep on going. Oh my goodness, this is a disgusting win streak to start off this video. It's gonna go downhill, I guarantee it. Like, this is not okay. This doesn't happen. This is... My goodness, though. Again, yeah, shout out to, man, I should really open up Discord and check it out, but I don't want to open up Discord while I'm in the middle of recording, just in case something wacky happens. I'll try and put in the, or like in a comment, the name of the person, just because I feel like I might be messing it up. But yeah, credit to them for this deck. This deck, I mean, I did change things, but like, I didn't change that much. Like 90% of the deck is the same. This is definitely a bit more of a slow hand, I think. I don't know. Our opponent's not doing anything though, so do we just cast out another Bankbuster, or we just pass the turn and draw? I have a severe distrust for blue. I don't need your Academy Lore Master. So are we playing blue double draw? Is that the grand plan? Ooh. Where's our land? uh, uh, I mean, if we draw into a land, this is worth. No. Okay. Well, find the damn land, for the love of God. We've hit all of our Bankbusters. That's impressive. What do we discard? Oh my. That is a tough choice. I think we're gonna go down a Bankbuster, honestly. It's absurd. The Fable is also not great, but it at least creates a dork the turn it comes in. Opponent goes for the draw. I imagine they're holding up counter spells, which makes me not very happy. Yeah, we take 2 damage. We need them to tap out for us to be able to play this all will be one, but at the same time they can play everything at instant speed, or they most likely can. Are they gonna play hyper taxed something, or are they trying to figure out? Oh, they're looking for lands as well. I feel you, opponent. This stuff is rough. Another no lands. We have 26 lands in this deck, and we're hitting 4 lands, 14 cards deep. Doesn't seem like that mass out. Do we draw? I kind of want another land. Thank you. Alright. Do we just draw with Bankbuster? I mean, we're gonna have to discard if we don't play something else. Let's play Azuzes. Our opponent helping us out here draw a few more cards with this Lore Master. We have any? We don't have any lands. Just want the life gain in the creature and over the course of some turns. Opponent, you're gonna flash in your spirits. Spirits, huh? Maybe we will be able to cast the Depopulate here. I have doubts though. I mean, even if we cast Depopulate, they can just flash in something afterwards. No, since we drew land, we will decline. We finally drew land. So we might just play out a Fable here and see if we can bait out a counter. Do we do that? I mean, they have 4 mana. What are they gonna do? Memory Deluge? But this March of Swirling Mist means that they're maybe a bit more just combat tricky. I don't want to play out the thing and get it countered. Let's go this. This is known as one of the best cards in Standard, so they're likely to counter it, you'd think. Alright, I don't really want to throw a Migloz down there just because it's so good to play after you get all of B1 down. So you know what, we'll just, we'll hold up the Bank Buster crack. Maybe they'll do something during our combat. End turn. Opponent keeping quite the thick end. Alright. I think we take our beats. This goblin is pretty good at drawing cards. Or not drawing cards, creating treasures, which help us do our things easier. Opponent hasn't countered anything we played, so I wonder if they just genuinely aren't playing any counters. Oh my goodness. Opponent, what is your draws like? I fear for what is going on in your hand. We'll discard this Razor Ridge Thicket. We already have a land. And then I don't really know if I want to discard anything else. Depopulate's a nice, like, just in case. Kind of, ooh, okay. A backup all will be one makes me feel a lot better about playing this out. This might get countered. They've been holding these counter spells up for, like, turns upon turns. So it's kind of strange. It seems so weird that they would not counter a Fable. Anyways. I mean, they can't attack in on the ground anymore. They're gonna have to flash in flyers. This goes in, get us a treasure. We can crack a Bank Buster this way. Or draw a card off of Bank Buster. The fact that only one got countered though is very sad. I mean, it's not like we've been doing nothing, it's just apparently did nothing that our opponent felt like countering at that point. They have very good uh what do they call it? Or what do you call it? Wow, it's a Jin. It's a Jin deck. Lame. I hate that card. It's very, very silly. Alright, well, if I don't crack this draw, I can play Depopulate, they counter the Depopulate, and then they're almost out of mana? No. But I can attack in first, I guess. I'll attack in with the Shaman. And maybe the Likeness? No. Can't imagine they have that many creatures. Don't they want to protect your board? Hmm? Negate? Because I'll play all of you one next. Not a big fan of this because we're blowing up our board too, but like at the same time. They got flyers, we don't have any reachers. March of the Swirling Mist for free. They might still be holding up a negate. Well, if you get us, you get us. At this point, I can't be bothered to play into this blue nonsense. Okay, good. We actually get to do something for a turn. So that's two March of the Swirling Mist down. They won't be able to phase out all of you one, so we will be able to just play out cards here and blow up their stuff, but presumably. My question though is, can we just lethal our opponent? No. Do need to get rid of the Djinn and the intruder if we can. Essence capture. Okay. How many counter spells do you have? I hate blue. It's such an annoying color. The color of don't do anything, I get to do everything, and I am press glasses up to nose, big brain. Ugh. We just didn't draw into land there, so we had to slow down our plan and just try and play around counters, but it doesn't matter. And then flyers are just so strong. Part of why I think Haughty Djinn is just gross. It's a like a 3 mana creature that with 4 toughness. That's already pretty strong. And then its power can be absolutely massive. Like I'm talking, its power can be like 14/4 for 3 mana, flying. And then on top of all of that, it discounts your spells. It just seems too much to me. Anyways, Party Slime. That is a good name. I like that. Very good name. Battlefield Forge. And they got the Pain Land going. I like our hand. We got Elspeth, which is, or sorry, Wandering Emperor, which is really good. Uses many journeys, can help us ramp, but also importantly, it gains us life, which is huge. We do need kind of another land here. Another land off the top would be good. We have 26 lands in our deck, so. Well, 23 at this point. We have 3 in Battlefield. But 23 of 52. It's a pretty high amount. Alright. Game 3 life. Pass. You'll Wandering Emperor. Opponent probably should recognize that we have Wandering Emperor because, well, Wandering Emperor, but the amount of times I've forgotten about it, I couldn't blame them if they don't see it coming. I don't think we really attack in or play Emperor here because they just got the flyer, unless we can follow it up guaranteed with like a Elspeth. Alright, well in that case we'll do this.
Now you've done it. We must protect the people.
That does pretty good. Ooh, that is good. That is a good draw. Give this flying, and then give this an extra +1. And the opponent just scoops it up off of the white planeswalkers. Wander and Elspeth. Just flinging around counters to tokens. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man, I haven't played that much with Elspeth, but Elspeth is better than I remember. Because she's just so, like, if she can get her loyalty up and then -7 or whatever it is, it's also really crazy. Like, that's really bad for the opponent. So they have to do something about it, but she makes it really hard to do something about it because as long as you have, like, a creature, she can just go ahead and, she can go ahead and keep that creature, or, like, give that creature, like, flying, so it can block whatever is flying, and so on. This hand might be less good. On the play though, it's pretty good. Our opponent has the fox pet, which is I don't if this ever shows up in the store again, I want to know because it's so cute. What a cute fox. Go ahead, flame out Fable for a little bit of pain. Fable of the Pain Breaker. Glissa. Alright, we hold up Wanderer. I don't really want this many lands. I'm gonna discard both these lands. And we drew to 0. Okay, interesting. We're not going to attack in because we can block the Evolved Sleeper potentially. I don't know. We could have attacked in. I just didn't want to give something free for Glissa. Wait. Okay, I was about to say. We get another chance to cast Emperor, right? Because there's the attackers, then there's the blockers, and then I get Pariah.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Why do they have Pariah here? That is one thing I've never understood, is that like I play this out, and then I would assume that I at least get to trigger this. I guess it's an instant? I don't know. They make a sacrifice for Planeswalker. Yeah, it's okay. I think I'm as tough as 2-2. I need a land. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Gain some life for this upcoming turn. We do need to start like drawing, because at this point does our opponent want to die or have their Evolved Sleeper die is the real question. Because they could trade with the Evolved Sleeper, but I'm assuming they want to keep it around so they can dump a ton of mana into it and start getting those card draws. Because this card is like one of those cards that if you leave it be, it eventually does annoying things. Alright, I think I'm gonna sweep the board this following turn, so one doesn't attack in, so maybe we're good. Maybe we are good. Maybe. Oh, come on. What are these trolls? I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of silly. I think I just go and depopulate. Because I really don't want to get a poison counter, because I'm scarred by poison as a mechanic. And then we have enough to do this. And then we get 2 3/3s, or like a 3/3 next turn from our flipping fables, or flipping sagas. One is going to exile Wanderer. That's fine. We don't have any way to get Wanderer back. Though it is important to note that they do have these Armored Scrap Gorgers, which can exile a Storm the Festival if we ever get it into our graveyard. At this rate, we're not going to be getting much into our graveyard, eh? We're not going to be drawing much. Oh my. It's been lands and depopulates, which like they are a little rat poison deck. I know what they're playing. They're playing the dinosaur. I'm willing to bet money they're playing the dinosaur. Well, why not just attack in and die? Okay, well, I already made the mistake of crewing, so just go for it. I'm just gonna take it, because next turn they play down a giant dinosaur. Come on, don't disappoint me. Don't disappoint my predictions. Tyrannix Rex. Flesh Gorger. Okay, that's not exactly a dinosaur, but it is giant. Does gain them life. But you want to know what also works is just wiping the board clear. So you don't gain any life. Now we're at the mercy of top decks, which is not great, but we're at 29 life, they're at 12. There's some time to be had. We have some time to to potentially top deck, as long as they don't play something that like bombs out of control. Like a land into another Flesh Gorger would be kind of rough. That puts land and Flesh Gorger off the table. Loom Speaker, that's alright. Alright, 20 cards deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lands in the top 20 cards. Seems unlikely. That's all I'll say. Not, not, not in our favor. Go, Bankbuster, go. Bonk. Alright. These likenesses of the Seeker have gained us a significant amount of life. Opponent plays out a Flesh Gorger. We sweeper the board. And we play out a Evolved Spinoderm. And we crew the Bankbuster with the Evolved Spinoderm. And we smack their face. Alright. All will be one off the top wins us the game. And Elspeth probably wins us the game. Okay. I will put a counter on this. Alright, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards in the top 23. So more than half of the cards we've drawn have been lands, which is... And then we've drawn none of our all-will-be ones. I mean... I will blow up your Obliterator if you don't do anything about it. That is one reason why Blast Zone's not a bad card. Not a bad card. Why no more Loom Speaker? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Oh my goodness, it's a card. Mamma mia. It's a bad idea to play this and take it down, though. How many Bankwasters have we gone through? I think we hold this off? Or do we just take it up? Because we play this, take it down, and we miss, it's gone. I think we hold it up. We need at least to know what our next card is, and then we can go ahead and do things. Ah, God. Golly. Alright, this is good. This is good. Lethal, 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 lethal. Mig Laws and the land. That's not bad. That's not bad. Opponent goes up some life here, but we should still be able to finish them off with Elspeth, unless they have a Edict. Or we can do this. This is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. I assure you, everything is fine. Those Bankbusters. My golly. I mean, we could still storm the festival for the troll win, but I think our opponent... No, they're Shieldreding. I don't know. God damn, Shieldred. This is disgusting. We, like... Okay, we do just need to storm the festival then. I mean, they don't attack in, I don't think, because they're worried about dying. Okay, apparently they do. Okay. We still have Miglaws to go with this. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, Miglaws does 5, so we just need anything that does 1 more, so this will do. Thank goodness. Storm the Festival coming in clutch. Like, you can crew your, or like level up your Evolved Sleeper all you want. But you're gone. Ch-ch-ch-ching. I don't think they can draw a card in time with their Evolved Sleeper. I mean, they could have leveled it up to be a 2/2, and then they would have 3 mana left over, and then they would level it up to be like a 3/3, and then they would have only 1 mana left over, so they would need 2 more mana available to actually draw off of Evolved Sleeper to save them in that situation. My goodness, that was closer than I would have liked, but dang, that was a good game. Alright, we're gonna play one more game, and then we'll hop into the deck tech and break down the cards. But ooh, we are so close to getting the Atraxa sleeves. That is dope. I wanted, that was like part of the reason why I got the pass, was obviously I think it's probably a decent, like, if you're going to spend money on the game, it's probably a decent spend of money, if especially if you intend to play the game as much as I do. And then the sleeve is just kind of cool. So, oh my goodness. We've been popping off. I think that it's about time that somebody shut this up. They have them. They have the sleeve already. I feel like that's really slow, the animation for you mousing over it. I expected it to be slightly faster. Also, it's a little bit darker, I thought. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Still pretty cool. As sleeves go, pretty cool. Mono red, eh? Mono red, eh? Well, taste this. Mono red versus all will be one. Naya all will be one. What will win? Find out now. I hope they're not. Ooh, they're running 2 different land arts. That's funny. No play with fire. I was expecting a play with fire to grow that. Gain 3 life. Alright, well, let's play Miglaws here, I think. We want to play Bank Buster so we can draw a card. We're still at pretty good life total. Let's go Bank Buster. And they would try to remove the Miglaws, which might be worth it in the sense that they're wasting removal on it rather than our face, but or lightning strikes and play with fires on it rather than our face. Opponent passing the turn they have. They had some 1 mana instant. I don't know why they're holding it up. Oh, they wanted to get the mech Lies of Warfare going. The mech going. Since we drew a land, we'll go ahead and play out like Evolved Spinoderm. Oh wait, we can't play out Evolved Spinoderm. Alright, well next turn we can destroy the Mechanized Warfare with our Miglaws, which is huge. And then we can play out an all will be one, assuming we draw a land here. We will most likely try and block. If they have a lightning strike, they can send it at our Miglaws and it's gonna go, but that's fine. Though our opponent, I feel like they're playing combat tricks rather than alright. Play with fire. Alright, so we're clear to block one of these Monastery Swiftspears if they go in with them. Yep, they're only gonna do 3 damage, and your creatures still die. They go for it. Interesting. We will be able to take apart some of their stuff here, I think. Alright, well, I think this is worth it, even if we don't get anything huge out of this. Go ahead and remove an oil counter as well to just get in with the Maze Crusher. Would have really loved to land though. I didn't really want to draw the land with the Bank Buster though, and just leave ourselves in a tough spot. Now their creatures do exactly the amount of damage as they say. That end the festivities though is kind of gross. Because I can pump up their creatures, so we can't block anything if they play the end of the festivities. But we can also block things and just trade. I think it would be worth. Do they swing in? They don't. Okay. That is partially good on us, but also we're in a bad spot. Question is, do we need to play out this Evolved Spinoderm, or can we take the turn to play all of V1? Alright, so they got... I think we play all of V1 here, because that's our line to win. But it still feels awful. Because we can play, like, this Evolved Spinoderm. It acts as a nice roadblock. But then... to be greed, I'm really tempted to be greedy and play all of V1, but I feel like I'm gonna get hard punished. I'm talking like hard punished. Alright, let's play Evolved Spinoderm. Let's be responsible. No attacks. If I wanted to, I could have tried attacking in. It would have been smart, but if it's not apparent, I am not the smartest. Though they're not gonna want to attack in, I don't think. I mean, they might. For all I know, they might. I mean, they got us pretty much dead to rights here. They're not attacking in with any of that. Alright, so here's what we can do. We can crew with the Bank Buster and then crew with the Bank Buster, crew the Bank Buster with the Evolved Spinoderm, and then double block it with Miglaws and the Bank Buster. Or we could single block. I think we want to double block. But do we care about the Evolved Spinoderm or the Bank Buster more? I think at this point we care about the Spinoderm. Wish it ordered these blocks a little differently, because I don't want them killing the Bank Buster. So it's like default giving them probably the best option. But they might go for the creature on board rather than the Bank Buster, which is also technically a good option. Bank Buster draws us cards, but it's not the creature on board that can continue to block. So either way, we're okay-ish, I think. It is not ideal though. Okay, they go for that. That is fair. That is not exactly what we wanted to see. Alright, we can play out the Miglaws and draw a card. We're going full safety mode. I don't think this is actually going to pay off though, because they just kill us in the sky. The Smiglogs though can blow up. Yeah, we're just dead. We're just dead. I mean, they can attack him with everything. I have nothing in hand, so we can just go ahead and block the ground. Block the ground down. Ooh, okay. That's tough now. Do we just draw a card and then we leave up these blockers? We can draw a card, remove the forge. We're gonna want to get rid of the forge eventually. We're gonna get down this Evolved Spinoderm soon. We need to get rid of these flyers soon as well. The life gain will be relevant soon. I mean, we need to get rid of the flyers like kind of pronto-ish now. I mean, you could play out the Emperor now and then draw, and then they send something to our Emperor. We're still okay, I think. That's better off. Whatever we do, I think it's going to be drawing, so we'll do that. Storm the Festival, that's huge. That's huge. Okay, so that makes me feel a little bit better about just Holding up the Emperor here, I think. See what they draw. So we can do whatever we want at instant speed. Yeah, that's fine. Pass through blockers. Go ahead, block with this because it doesn't matter. And then flash in Emperor. And then next turn we can storm the festival and just hope. That is an option, or we can try and play this out a little bit more methodically. I think we might want to play all of V1 before we just storm the festival. We're going to be saying goodbye to this evolved Linoderm soon. Alright, well this is pretty good though, because what we can do is we can go ahead, tick up, put a counter on probably Miglaws, right? And then we get to, we can shoot down the bird, but if they attack in with everything, they just get the bird back, so there's no point in doing that. We can shoot something else. Evolved Spinoderm, we need it as a blocker here, I think, so we just shoot him in the face. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Alright, well, that was a punt. I think I may have just kind of low-key lost this the game. Because we could have gotten rid of the Monastery Swiftspear, which would have been big. Next turn we can storm the festival, though, which might be even bigger. Because we storm the festival into an Elspeth, that is pretty big. That might just be game, though. That's game, right? Oh, mono red, just doing mono red things. Fling, fling, fling. Annoying. Ah, we really... I tried to play it safe, and I don't know. Don't know if that was the right move. I mean, if the opponent gave us another turn there... My god, were they gone? I mean, if we didn't play... Like, we could have played out Evolve the Spinoderm and just kept on chumping, but we need to... Oh man, actually, if we got rid of that Swift Spear there, we would have actually won the game. I literally punted by where I sent the all-will-be-one counters because I forgot I get a loyalty counter and a +1 counter. Alright, well, lesson learned. Let's go ahead and head into the deck tech. I think this deck performed so much better than I ever expected. Like, we should have even won that last game. It was really kind of my fault that we lost it. So, yeah, that was crazy. All will be won, or sorry, all will be done, as I called it. Because, well, we're finishing off opponents, making sure that they're done with playing Magic, I guess. For this deck, we have 26 lands, and to go with that, we have Azusa's Many Journey because we got a curve. We got a curve. Oh, a curve, don't we have? So Azusa's Many Journey allows us to play an additional land on the first chapter. The next chapter it gains its life, which is very important, and then it flips into a 3/3. 3/3's like 3 power is kind of legendary in standard because it crews Bankbuster. So that's always something to think about. 3 power allows us to crew our Bankbuster. Bankbuster, god tiered card, or god tiered card in card. I don't know why I can't pronounce these. I don't know. Anyways, god tiered card. I feel like that's harder to say than I expect. Anyways, Reckoner Bankbuster, really good card, particularly in this deck because, well, it's Bankbuster, but it also is 3 damage for 2 mana at any target our opponent has. So it's basically a lightning strike that also can draw his cards. Kind of good. So yeah, Bankbuster, really good. Draws cards, starts with 3 counters. After 3 counters, you get the pilot and then a treasure token. So good stuff. Fable. This card is also pretty self-explanatory. Just a really good card. Shaman. It creates the 2/2 Goblin Shaman that whenever it attacks creates a treasure token. And then the second chapter, we're allowed to draw and discard 2 cards. Or discard and draw 2 cards, up to 2 cards. So that can allow us to discard, like, ooh, we have like 2 Storm the Festivals and it's turn 3. Don't think we really need 2 in our hand. We kind of need it to populate, so we can try and dig for those sorts of answers. So Fable's really good. Miglaws, this card is whew, it's a really good card. I think every deck that I played it with, it's just kind of good. Like you play this in Gruul modified, it's good. You play it in this deck, it's good. Just like the 5/0 counters, that's so many counters to enter in the battlefield with, so it works incredibly well with all will be one. And then it's just got so much utility, and like it's got the threat of activation, so you can give it Vigilance and Menace for just 1 mana and 1 oil counter. For 2 oil counters and 2 mana, you can give it +2/+2. So this can be like, oh, the opponent's like attacking with Shieldred. Well, you buff this up for 2 mana into a 6/6, and then it blocks and trades. So good in that regard. And then the the mode that I've enjoyed the most is the 3 mana, 3 oil counters, remove 3 oil counters, destroy target artifact or enchantment, because it's a creature that can also destroy artifacts and enchantments, which is just really good. It does require you to either have 6 mana or to be able to keep it on the battlefield for a turn. So it's not like instant speed artifact or enchantment removal, but it's pretty good. Depopulate, this card is good, especially if you're playing a deck like this, which doesn't have a ton of creature-centric strategies. We got these like sagas with their lore counters, which contribute to all of one, but also they don't immediately flip over into creatures, so that can allow us to like depopulate and then have these sagas flip over, which is really cool. But also we just running like we're running 5 creatures, right? Yeah, 5 creatures. We're running 5 creatures in the deck. So yeah, where if our opponent builds up like too many creatures, depopulate's going to be our 4 mana sweeper. We do also have Miglaws, so we do potentially draw a card, which I guess is good. But yeah, for the other 4 mana drop with 2 white in it, we're playing with Wandering Emperor. This card is, well, it's a planeswalker, so it enters in with a bunch of counters because it enters in with loyalty counters, which is really good with all of the done. But like the Wandering Emperor is also just an amazing card because you can use it as removal. So beyond just our sweepers, we also have removal with the Wandering Emperor. We have like artifact enchantment removal with Miglaws. So we got this kind of like decent removal, even though we're not playing actual like removal spells. And then the Wandering Emperor like creates the tokens, and then it puts +1 counters on, which is good because every time we +1 with this, we get 2 damage with all of one. We really screwed it up there in that last game because for some reason, I was struggling to process what was happening, I think. But we got the loyalty counter, so we got the ping off the loyalty counter, or like the trigger off the loyalty counter, and then we actually got to put the +1 counter on it, so we got another trigger off of that, but I didn't see like 2 all be one triggers, and so I was a little confused. So that is something important to note. It's not exactly like 2 all will be one triggers on the stack when you do like the +1 for a Wanderer. You get like one trigger, it resolves, and then another trigger, and then it resolves. So, or at least that's what it felt like. I would have to look back at it, but just make sure you do some counting. Counting saves you things. Read the cards, all that good stuff. Standard Magic stuff, I guess. But Evolved Spinoderm. So in the place of Koth in this deck, I chose to play Evolved Spinoderm. We're playing a 3 mana deck, and I don't think Koth is the best thing to be playing here, just because we're not going to be running that many mountains. And so Koth's ultimate and his +2 and his like minus all have to do with the number of mountains you control. And if we're playing a 3-color deck, it's going to be really hard to control enough mountains where his minus is going to be usable and his plus is guaranteed to be like actually finding us a mountain. And then we're hampering our mana base because we're trying to run these like basic mountains that we can find. So I didn't particularly love it, and I was like, okay, what's got counters that we can run? Well, Evolved Spinoderm, it comes in with 4 oil counters. So this is a pretty high number of counters to enter the battlefield with, and then it's a 5/5 body. So it's really good at just sitting there gumming up the board while we keep on doing our all will be one things. It's a good like blocker. And then if we need to, it gets there in there and it gets beaten. It also gets like hexproof when it enters, and then slowly loses oil counters, which can be a bit problematic. Um, but when it has two or few oil counters, it gets trampled, which is cool. So you can at least get in that way. But another reason we're playing this card, very important to note, is we can copy it with Fable of the Mirror. So we're not running a ton of creatures like I said, but if we get Fable the Mirror and evolve Spinoderm, ooh, that's real good. Because then we create another 5/5, which is a huge body that has haste. But that 5/5 also enters with 4 more oil counters. So it works really well with All Will Be One. If we can have Fable flipped and evolve Spinoderm, you copy the evolve Spinoderm, you get 4 more damage off of All Will Be One for just 1 mana. So that's why we're running evolve Spinoderm in place of Koth, and because it works really well with Fable. Because then we actually have a non-legendary creature to duplicate. I mean, I guess you can duplicate flipped sagas, but and then next up, Elspeth. Elspeth, really good planeswalker for all will be one because the +1 turns into 3 damage each turn, just 3 damage wherever you want to send it, and then you obviously you're buffing up your planeswalker or your creature, whatever creature you have. And then the -3 is maybe a bit more iffy in this deck. We're probably just going to be sticking to plussing, but look at top 7 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield with a shield counter on it, with the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This can work in this deck because we do have, like, I guess this is 10, and then this is 14. We have 14 cards that this -3 can hit, so 14 isn't that high of number of cards to hit if you're looking at like top 7 cards. But you only get one card out of the top 7, so like the reliability on this -3 is probably like down to like 50-50 because there's just not that many 3 mana or less tournaments we have in this deck. But if we do get a 3 mana or less tournament, like this -3 could just win us the game because we just -3, we find a Bankbuster. The Bankbuster comes in with 3 charge counters, and then it also gets a shield counter because of Elspeth's ability, and so that's another damage. That's like 3 damage from finding the Bankbuster, and then another shield counter, so that's another 1 damage from that. And then if we just spam the +1 though, we also get the -7, which is create the 5/3/3 angel token or creature tokens with flying. Really good because, well, flyers are just really good. Nobody has things running around with reach, and so if we create 15 flying power, that's gonna be pretty nightmarish. We have 4 copies of All Will Be One. We only have 3 copies of Wander. I took it down from 4 because I figured it's a legendary card, so we don't really want to run into like multiple legendaries. Just a good rule of thumb. It's one of the few reasons why I don't run 4 of certain cards in decks, is just because they're legendary. But we are running 4 of All Will Be One because it's so good. It's like it's so vital to our plan, and then it's not even that bad in like multiples because then that just turns everything into like insane things. You play a Bankbuster, it's 6 damage to wherever you want it to go. So that's why we're running 4 All Will Be Ones. And then lastly, Storm the Festival. This card is so much fun to play with, especially with like All Will Be One because it's just like 6 mana. What am I gonna get? Am I gonna get All Will Be One and a Planeswalker and then just send a bunch of damage everywhere? Or am I just gonna find like 5 lands? So, but it's also really nice because it has flashback. So you can discard this and maybe flash it back later in the game with the Fable, or you're just ramping up and casting it again. So, and then lastly, important to note in the mana base, we're playing basically every dual land in these colors that I have, I think. And then we're playing 2 Blast Zones. We're playing 2 Blast Zones because, well, Blast Zone's good, but again, like I said in the intro, it's a land that enables All Will Be One. So if we have nothing on the battlefield, and we storm the festival, we find nothing like a land, and All Will Be One. If we have Blast Zone, then we can just dump in like we can just dump in like I don't know how much mana you say, like you dump in 6 mana, you get 3 damage to whatever you want. So that's better than nothing. That can snipe a planeswalker. And then if you put charge counters on it, you can also just use it to sacrifice and like blow up the Obliterator like we did that one game. So good land to include in your all will be one decks. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps out a ton. And let me know what you guys thought of the deck down below. What decks are you playing? What you would have changed? And yeah, all that good stuff. Have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.